All right, students, we are going to talk about solving absolute value equations. And we did these in class today, so this is just a quick review. All right, so the steps that we talked about. First, you want to isolate the absolute value. That means you want the absolute value on one side of the equal sign, everything else on the other. You also want to make sure that it's possible to even solve that absolute value equation. That means that the absolute value must be equal to something that is positive, all right? 3, you want to set up and solve your two equations if you can actually do it, if it's possible. And 4, you want to check your work. All right, let's get this done. All right, so the first example, we have the absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 5. All right, let's check. We want to isolate the absolute value. That's step 1. Well, the absolute value is already by itself. So we have the absolute value on one side, everything else on the other. That's good. All right, step 2, let's make sure it's possible. Well, the absolute value here is equal to a positive number 5, so we can do that. And now let's set up and solve. Now that we know we can solve it, let's do that. So I'm going to set up two equations. So on one side, I'm going to break this x plus 3 out of the absolute value bars, and I'm going to make it equal to what it says it's equal to, which is 5. On the other side, I'm going to break the x plus 3 out of the absolute value bars, and I'm going to set it equal to negative 5. Those are my two equations. Let's solve them. All right, x plus 3 equals 5. That seems pretty basic. We're going to subtract 3 on both sides. And then we end up with x is equal to 2. All right, that's good. And on this side, we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. And we are going to end up with x equals negative 8. All right, did that. We set up, we think we solved it. Let's check our work. Let's make sure that it works. So I'm going to plug x back into the absolute value and make sure that this is actually a true statement. I'm going to do the same thing with negative 8. Let's start with 2. All right, where am I going to do this? I think I could do it right here. So let me put in, let's see, I know x is 2. Let me use a different color here. All right, so I'll do 2 plus 3. Absolute value of 2 plus 3. Is that equal to 5? And we're asking a question. We're trying to check our work. Well, 2 plus 3 actually is 5. So is the absolute value of 5 equal to 5? Yes, it is. Let's do the same thing for this one. So that side's good. Let's pop negative 8 in for x here. So I'm going to write the absolute value of negative 8 plus 3. Is that equal to 5? Well, let's see. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. So is the absolute value of negative 5 equal to 5? Why, yes, it is. All right, so we, in fact, solved this using our steps. So we checked our work. Let me put a check here, and we're done.